Title: AITA for refusing to shave my beard for a wedding. My cousin is getting married this week and I am his groomsman. His fiancée put everyone, including their mothers, in a group chat. His fiancée's mom says that she wants the groomsmen to shave their faces. We all have beards, but 4 out of 5 of us are bald through genetics. My beard is part of my style and it's the only hair that I can grow, so I am proud of it. She says it's only hair, so it'll grow back. To me it's more than just hair, so I told them that I would shave my beard if she shaved her head, because after all, it's just hair. Title: Update: AITA for refusing to buy food for anyone in my household anymore. Hello there. Since so many people were gracious enough to leave advice on how to handle this, I decided I'd give you guys an update. So I decided I wasn't going to get a mini fridge for my room, but I did get a little cage for the family fridge to keep my leftovers in. My ma thinks it's ridiculous but accepts it. My dad, surprisingly TBH, thought it was hilarious, and it made my sister really annoyed because she thought I was overreacting. As for everything else, I went to Target and got a storage box to keep my snacks in and put it in a safe spot, in my room. Many people's comments made me realize that my issue at hand was far bigger than my family eating my food. So at dinner I talked to everyone at once about how I felt towards their food thievery. My ma was immediately regretful, and I do believe that she feels bad. She offered to immediately replace the food that was eaten, but I said it was okay. I don't want compensation, I just want it to stop. My dad. I am not sure if he feels bad, but I did remind him that out of the 2 of them, I am the only one that actually leaves the house and works on their feet. They work from home, so I think that I am entitled to having my own food without worrying about it going anywhere. He seemed to have gotten the message. My sister didn't take it well. I'll spare the details, but it was a long and loud rant about how she doesn't eat that much of my food, and I was starting to annoy her. I don't eat as much quantity-wise as the rest of my family does. Apparently her logic was that since I'm not currently eating it, it should be okay for her to eat it instead. My ma tried to help me explain my feelings to her, but she started yelling louder and stormed away. Her attitude is different can of worms for another day. In the end, I am very confident that that situation has been worked out. Title: AITA for saying to my brother's GF to have to pay full rent since I am not the one who is fing her in the ass. I know the tittles sound awful, but hear me out. I, 48M, own my own house, a 3-bedroom house, and my brother, M, mid-20s, live with and pay 1/3 of the market price for a room in this area, just enough to pay for his part on the utilities. My brother have a GF who doesn't live with us but spend most nights here, think, more or less 15/16 nights a month, and I must say, it must be good to be young because they all night log. How I know it is because she is loud, and I mean PRN star level, so the nights she is here I can't sleep because OS her screaming F my ass all night long. So last week, after she stayed BG here for the night 2 weeks in a row, she decided it would be a good idea to move in with my brother, but instead of sharing the room with him she would take my other free room. She told him her idea and he told me. I told him to call her so we could talk. She came and I said that if she gonna move in she will pay full rent. She blew up on me when I told her how much the market rent was. I believe she think that she would be living here rent-free since she was my brother GF, and demanded to know why I would charge her with full price. I was sleep-deprived and cranky as hell, so my mouth was faster than my brain, and I said that since I wasn't the one F-ing her in the ass she would need to pay full rent. She became silent and red while my brother was laughing his butt off on the floor. Title: AITA for not telling my nationality right away. Recently my boyfriend introduced me to a group of friends. We went to a fancy Italian restaurant together. I am Italian. My family lives in Italy, and I lived there for more than 20 years before moving to the US. While my boyfriend and his friends all ordered wine and fancy meals, I opted for a soft drink and some roasted chicken with fries. I've always been picky, and I'm not a fan of the American version of Italian food. I seldom eat Italian here in the US, and that dinner was not an exception. One of my boyfriend's friend, Jay, made a joke about me being clearly not fancy enough to enjoy real Italian. I replied that I like my Italian food in Italy. I think Jay understood something like, I once went in Italy and liked the food there, and proceeded talking about his 2 weeks in Europe 5 years ago. I said nothing about it for the rest of the meal. While we were eating dessert, one of the other friends asked me where I was from, since she noted my accent was a bit weird. I replied Italy. Jay instantly went silent. He barely looked at me when we said our goodbyes. Later my boyfriend told me I was kind of a dick, but he's a bastard and probably enjoyed the look on Jay's face. One of his friends later messaged him to let him know that I'm an aw for embarrassing Jay. Edit. Thank you Redditors. Some of you actually suggested me to rethink about my boyfriend's part in this, so I talked to him and he apologized for making things awkward. He also said we are not going to meet Jay. Title: AITA for not removing butter from the breakfasts I make for my whole family. I'm a 16-year-old girl, and I live with my parents and my 2 older brothers. A couple of months ago, I decided I needed to gain some weight. I am technically underweight and honestly I didn't really like the way I looked or felt. I found a bunch of ways to add some more calories into my diet, and one of those was actually eating breakfast. In the past I rarely ate breakfast, and I never ate a breakfast that was a whole meal. So I started cooking myself breakfast every day. Not only is it delicious and helps me gain weight, but I also enjoying relaxing in the morning by cooking something. I make a lot of different things, but to give you an idea, this past week I've made waffles, breakfast burritos, egg sandwiches, and oatmeal. When I first started cooking breakfast, my parents and brothers, who work from home at the moment, asked me if I could make some for them too. I said sure because I was already cooking so it didn't bother me. Since then I've been making 5 portions of breakfast every morning, and everyone has been enjoying it. And I've gained 5 pounds. About a week ago though, my parents and my oldest brother went on sort of a health kick. They decided they wanted to eat healthier and cut down on how much fat and sugar they were eating. That's not really what I need personally, but whatever, I don't care what they eat. They decided to swap out sugar with stevia, buy these healthy yogurts with no sugar, and swap out butter with margarine. They also decided that they wouldn't cook with fats anymore, they would just use Pam. My other brother and I don't follow any of these things. Personally I think I'm healthy enough, and the amount of sugar and butter I eat isn't going to kill me. So I still put sugar and butter into breakfast and cook with butter or oil too. Yesterday, we were all eating breakfast, and my dad asked me what was in the waffles, so I told him flour, butter, sugar, etc. He seemed surprised and asked why I didn't just use the stevia and margarine. I told him because I don't really like them and I'm trying to gain weight, so using low-calorie alternatives doesn't seem like the best idea. Then my dad asked me if I could just switch to Pam when I cooked stuff, to reduce the calories a little. I told him absolutely not. Since then, my mom and other brother have tried convincing me. I've told them no several times, and now they're angry that I won't compromise. I told them if they wanted to use their low-calorie stuff, they could cook themselves. They think I'm being inconsiderate of their health and that I'm just being rude. My dad even went so far as to threaten to stop buying sugar and butter if I wouldn't be more considerate of them. I think that if I do compromise, eventually they'll ask me to swap out more and more stuff until I'm barely eating more than before. Title: AITA for forcing my daughter to let her younger sister move in. I want to word this carefully so there's no ambiguity. My daughter Anna, 25F, lives in a house my wife and I bought. It is not in her name, she only lives there and doesn't pay rent. We didn't buy it for her, we bought it as an investment property and allow her to live there while she attends school. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Anna has been living here for 3 years and has had complete reign over everything there. Our younger daughter, Melissa, 20F, aims to move out in the next couple of months to start school herself, starting January at the same school Anna goes to. Instead of having Melissa find an apartment on her own, we asked Anna if she could move in. Anna said no because she wants her own space, but we only asked out of courtesy. The answer is yes, Melissa is going to move in. If Anna utilized all of the space this home affords her, we would have paid for an apartment for Melissa. However, Anna only uses one of the bedrooms, the others are storage at the moment, and the basement is completely empty. Melissa wants the basement in any case, so it's not like Anna is sacrificing anything but her own privacy. Anna's argument is that she loses privacy and autonomy as an adult living in the city. We don't see it as a big deal, plus we own the house and make all final decisions on it. Melissa is excited to not have to pay rent, in partial or in full. So everyone wins.